the fun trips, if you want to go over it, was the when we went on tour with Chispa.
Yeah, can you believe that we ended up on tour with like one of the major Cuban salsa bands?
Yeah.
And we weren't in the group.
No.
So again, this is probably your third trip to Cuba?
I think that was we're
at about 2005, 2006, and our country still didn't have diplomatic relations with Cuba, and we also didn't have mail or phone, so you couldn't even write letters to our friends. So we had a buddy, Eduardo Velasquez, who we had met. He was a timbalero with one of the major bands, Chispa, and his accomplices, Los Complices. And so we decided we were going to go visit Eduardo, and so we just like showed up at the airport, and then we grabbed a taxi. The taxi guy had like a little flip phone, a cell phone, and we gave him Eduardo's number and said, "Hey, can you call him and tell him that we're that Mr. James and Mr. Brad have arrived?" And so we just showed up at his house, and he was super happy to see us. He got out a bottle of rum. He welcomed us. Yeah. And he's like, Mr. Brad, Mr. James, so how long are you here? And we're like, oh, we're so excited. We're here for 6 days. And then he frowned. You were there. And he's like, oh, pero no, lo siento, I'm so sorry. Because it's carnival. And my band with Chispa, we're leaving tomorrow for a tour that's going around the island. And so, when are you leaving again, Brad? I said, well, it's about 6 days. He's like, we're like getting back in 6 days, so I won't see you. And then he paused. Then he looked at you, James, and me, and he's like, unless you guys want to come. So we gave each other a high five. He called his manager just to make sure it was on tour, just to make sure it was okay to go on tour. And then we commenced this amazing trip where we're on like an air-conditioned tour bus with a full-on salsa band with like sound engineers, drum techs, full horn section. And because the government in Cuba owns everything, by day we're like staying at government-owned hotels, swimming,
very nice,
playing
baseball,
and ping pong.
Oh, ping pong! Oh, that's right, ping pong.
But anyway, so that was an amazing trip because we toured the country, but we did it sort of through the eyes of music with people who took care of us and who liked us, and so we could trust in that. And of course, we'd be playing in Santa Clara or Ciega d'Avila, and they would just hand us a güiro or like, "Be Brad, you play congos on this one, right?" I'm on stage. It's carnival. I'm with Chispa y Los Complices. I'm playing the tumbadoras, and I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe
it's amazing
how my life has brought me here, and what an amazing opportunity. And again, you can't do this with the PhD behind your name. You have to do this just by being vulnerable, going out into the world, buying that plane ticket, and just making it happen. So that was again, this is at a time when you're not even supposed to be in the country, and just an amazing experience.
And then meeting Eduardo's wife's family in Ciego d'Avila.
Yep, and then buying langosta.
El Capitan.
Yeah, on the black market, because, and this is still true today to my knowledge. They divert the lobster to the tourist towns and hotels. So locals are not allowed to eat lobster. I found it hard to find even chicken breast. We searched in Havana for an entire day to find chicken breast. Like first it was just like chicken leg, and then we're like, oh no, we need chicken breast, and they're like, no, we just don't have it.
Eggs.
So So we were with Eduardo's girlfriend's family and the neighbor El Capitan, who knew where to get langosta. So it was this funny thing. We were trying to get lobster, so we they made some phone calls. We drove a car to the middle of town, and then we opened up our trunk, And then I think we walked around the block, gave someone some money. Someone else came and put the langosta in the back of the trunk and closed it off. And then we went back and had a fabulous meal.
Oh, that was great.
But I mean, it was just a super local experience and the kind of thing that, you don't plan for that, but like it's just amazing. And you also learn to appreciate stuff like, so as Americans, we're privileged in that we can just, whether it's in America or it's in Cuba, we can just walk in and be like, I'll take 2 lobsters and a couple beers. And we take that for granted. And to live in a place where, like even finding eggs to nourish your family is a difficult thing. So these cultural experiences have also like deeply humbled me.
I want to play, I need to play. I love my drums, it's all I know. Hey, let me blow. Drum is my thing, God gave it to me. You can't take it away from me.